Hello and very warm welcome to my dear students. In this short video, we shall be discussing about Chapter 3, Part 2 of the novel Twilight in Delhi, written by Professor Ahmed Ali. I had already recorded one video on Chapter 1. Second chapter has been ignored because of not special development of the story in that chapter. So instead of wasting the time on reading the text of second chapter, I decided to jump to chapter 3. Chapter 3 is quite significant with respect to the death of Babanjan. Babanjan, who was the beloved of Mir Nihal and reflected the culture of the elite class of that time, how they would like to maintain one woman outside their family as well. Not only they were married at home, but also they wanted to have a woman at their expense, and that was going on in almost entire circle of the elite class. And what is now happening with this type of activity, that is to be seen in chapter 3. So let us enter into chapter 3 and see what happens there. This is chapter 3, and in chapter 3 you can see that the beginning is being done with some verses from the poetry. That is, out of pity someone had put a lamp up my grave at night, but oh, the wind was envious and with one gust put out the night. So that these lines reflect through the burning of the lamp on the grave and the air's effort to wipe it out, that shows the helplessness and the loneliness which the poet has tried to sing. In fact, the writer is trying to build the stage where he would like to tell to us that something has happened because of which Mir Nihal's feeling should be like that. And in the same way, Mir Nihal was thinking about Baban Jan, but he was thinking about his wife as well. For example, here he says his wife was there, no doubt, and so were the children, but the world they lived in was a domestic world. There was no beauty in it and no love. Here, Baban Jan's, he had built a quiet corner for himself where he could always retire and forget his sorrows in its secluded peace. It was now over 5 years that he had kept her as his mistress, and a bond of love had grown between them. He felt it more deeply, perhaps because he was old, conscious of the lengthened shadows of life. So these lines go to indicate that Mir Nihal had a very big love for Baban Jan, though she was not a very married woman to him. His wife and children were there, but they were at home, and he thought there was no charm in that. There was no pleasure and comfort in that. That is why he was maintaining her for the last 5 years. The novelist also tells us that because of the long-standing companionship that Mir Nihal was maintaining that woman, he had developed a kind of love for her, and that is very much significant. That the romantic element is also available, and the culture of the people of that time of the Muslim elite is being shown by the writer in these lines as well. For the lines of poetry, if you look at these lines, for example, in the winking of the eye, my friend has been snatched away from me. These all go to reflect what has actually happened and what is going to happen for Mir Nihal. So Mir Nihal was going very rapidly to the home of that woman where he had been keeping that mistress of, namely Baban Jan. And what is his condition when Mir Nihal reaches there? Mir Nihal went towards the veranda and with Baban Jan lay on the bed, covered from head to foot with a sheet. He took up the lantern and uncovered her face. Even the rest, she looked beautiful. Even death had not taken the kind of beauty she had away, the charm from her face. Her eyebrows were arched and her lips were gently closed as in the wayward smile, and her eyes seemed to be closed in sleep and not in death. On her face there was a serenity and calm, the realization of perfect peace, which is not in this world. This part of the text of this chapter is mainly meant by the writer to let us note two things which are happening here. One, that Baban Jan is dead, and her death has caused, a kind of gap in the life of Mir Nihal, and that she is lying in the white sheet, that is the coffin that where she would be there, and as a result she would be buried. So that's loss being represented. On the other hand, the beauty of this woman is being reflected, that even after her death, she's not looking ugly, she's not looking bad, she was looking so beautiful. Her eyebrows, her eyes, and her lips have been praised by him. That is the fascination of Mir Nihal for that woman. And also, one of the bitterest facts of life, that even if somebody is very beautiful, somebody is very attractive, that person is bound to lose life and ultimately die as well. So, taking this metaphor for the government of Delhi, the beauty of Delhi, which was under the Mughal people that had to die. This was the law of nature, that was the fate and destiny that was working in that way. So Baban Jan's death is in fact the death of Delhi as well, which was a source of attraction, source of comfort and leer for the elite Muslim class, that is now going to be finished. And this is what the writer tries to say. Let us see more what is there in the mind of the writer when he talks these things. Mir Nihal also sat down. He had suddenly become weak and old, and there seemed to strengthen in his limb. He sat there for some time, lost in world of memories and regret. Then he turned round to her and asked. So he is sitting, Mir Nihal is sitting close to the mother of Baban Jan, and he's feeling, actually, for us, only one thing is quite important, that he was certainly feeling weak and old. The question is that why he was feeling weak and old, and suddenly, why not with the passage of time, suddenly feels we cannot, and that is going to show us that the government, that the rule, that the culture which used to rule in Delhi is finished, and as a result the weakness is coming inside that. So apparently Mir Nihal is weak because of this loss of love for Baban Jan, but also, metaphorically speaking, we can say this is the loss of Delhi, this is the loss of Muslim eliteship in the government, and as a result the weakness is being felt by him. So not only political element but also that of the romantic element is going side by side. So let us go deep into the further pages of the chapter and see what else we can have. Mir Nihal comes back after he knows that the relatives of this woman will be coming, and he does want to appear before them. So that is why he comes home. When he comes home, he feels that his pigeons have been eaten out by a cat. And now he has to vent out his cat. It's also one of the metaphorical thing, that he finds out the cat and attacks and tries to close the doors and walls and everything like that, and ultimately he is able to capture the cat in a closed space. He holds up a stick and tries to attack the cat. One attack, second attack, and ultimately the cat was killed. The cat was killed and it was dead with this screech, and this is what has happened actually. uh, the kind of thing has happened with Mir Nihal. The death of cat, the killing of cat reverberates the wish of Mir Nihal to kill the people, to kill the things which are usurping him of his happiness, of his beautiful life and comfortable life. He wants to kill it, and that's why the cat has been killed. And this is metaphorical intention of this character, that it wants to revert to this kind of violence in order to restore everything. So he relieves himself on his anger on the cat, and later on, the writer also talks about some of the things about the earning material. For example, Mir Nihal used to sit on a shop in order to have some extra earning. The ending of the chapter shows to us, and this extra earning was mostly meant to go to Baban Jan. He didn't want to become a burden on his family. He didn't share this earning with his family, with his wife. Up to some extent he shared, but mostly he didn't share that. No, he was not willing to work there because the person, Baban Jan, is dead for whom he used to work. So that is the chapter number 3. Next time in some other short video we shall be discussing chapter 4, and therefore chapter 3 closes here with the note that one character which was a beautiful character, one character which represented the beauty, brightness and color of the life of Mir Nihal, that character is dead now, and Mir Nihal's life from this onward will become drab, dreary and uncolorful and unhappy life, and he will be passing and going crawling towards his grave instead of celebrating his life. With this the chapter ends. So thank you for watching the whole of the chapter. I would like to say that if you have understood something and enjoyed this explanation of the chapter, do not fail to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Hope to see you in some next video. Till that time, happy, peaceful, loving, and thank you very much.